slamming things going on. You never know what's going to happen. With the Bass Guys Show goes live right here on Concert Window. Be sure to tip those waitresses, yes indeed. Yo, let's give it up for Bass Guys.
Thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you, but please stop. Thank you. Hello and welcome to... I feel like breakdancing now. Can anyone body pop? Welcome to the Bass Guy Show. I am a guy who plays bass. The audio and the video might be out of sync because this is a live webcast, so we do a sound check. 1, 2, 3. Let me know how the sync is. Welcome to everybody on the chat board. You're watching the Bass Guy Show. A live interactive show. Everything you see I'm doing myself, all the sound effects, releasing the cabin pressure. Okay, cabin pressure released. We also have a live chat board here with us, so hello live chat board. Thank you, Weenus Plug, perfect sync. John down the street, welcome. Middle Class Batman, welcome. Sloppy Unfocused, welcome. We have a different theme every week, and this week's theme is 1980s week. So here we are on Bass Guy Street. Got a little Andy Warhol thing going on there with the 4 colors. I think also there's a later Queen album that uses those colors. I think it has Radio Goo Radio Gaga on it. There's a picture of my dad's old car. As you can see, I'm situated here in the studio in front of a live fake audience. Yes, Weenus Plug, Middle Class Batman, John, everybody, I hope you're all well. If you'd like to call into the show and rant and rave and tell me what you think, let's just remember that we're just human beings and never to take anything too seriously or you'll never get out alive. Don't take candy from strangers, unless, of course, the strangers is the frickin' A-Team. So that's it. That's my introduction. I hope everybody is well. Today is July the 25th, 2016. July 25th is Day Out of Time. That's when a bunch of hippies get together and celebrate that time is art. They say that it's the one day that doesn't fit the Gregorian calendar or something like that, and there's like owls and moonbeams and laser things, and July 25th is the day out of time. But, as you know, we're just protoplasm balls of flesh walking around the planet Earth with all thoughts and things, and we take everything way too seriously, and we forget to look up. We're looking down a lot. Not that I'm talking down to myself or you, but we look down a lot, and we need to look up more. To the stars. You gotta look up to the stars, and you gotta look up to the moon, because baby, the moon is out there, even when you can't see it. There's our moon, Ryan Inagaki moon, and we have green screen on fleek a little bit. And that's it. That's our introduction. That's our monologue or whatever. I'm a guy that plays the electric guitar, and I like to introduce my show every day. And we're here every weekday at 1 p.m. on bassguyshow.com will give you the link to where we are. We're actually on Concert Window. Fabulous website, fabulous people. Thank you, Concert Window, for doing such a great job. They're voted one of the best live streaming platforms around the world. So that is something to say, and they've helped a lot of musicians help themselves. You can see here people breakdancing. I think this is from the movie Breakin'. You got John down the street on the wall, and John and I used to breakdance together. I met John down the street when I was like 5 years old, and we would dress like that, and we were all, the whole world was influenced from New York City. The world was a strange place in the late 70s, early 80s. And I just finished listening to Sock Cop's podcast with OGVHS. Go to look up Sock Cop podcast on the internet, or go to sockcoprocks.com. And he does podcasts. I've been on one of them once, and there's a friend called OGVHS, and he likes to do vines. He's very good at the vines, and he looks for old videotapes, anything. Could be a bar mitzvah or a news clip. And he was pointing out something that I like to do a lot anyways, and that's go onto YouTube and watch television from a long time ago. So I was watching TV I was influenced by that podcast with OGVHS, and I was watching news from 1973, and the Vietnam War was on. There was riots and strikes going on in England. The world was a crazy place in the 70s, and I think what happened at the beginning of the 80s is people tried to turn that pain and bullshit and hurt and fear into art form, and thus breakdancing and hip-hop was invented as a way to be positive about it. So that's what we're trying to do here with our show. OGVHS is the only person I know with a cooler real name than their online name. So I'm sure that's not true, Sloppy. This little background song reminds me of my music test I had to do to get into college. So I'm in my room. We're chilling out. It's really hot here. We've got a lot to get through. We got different segments, but we like to start off the show with a jam. So we're going to jam now. So now's a good time to share the feed. You're in the feed. Welcome to the feed. There's 100 things I want to say, but I'm forgetting everything. Coach Ray is in Cleveland right now, and he's in a museum, and he just saw the Ramones Fender Telecaster or Fender bass. I forget which kind of bass it is. I think it's a Fender Precision bass. So I hope you're well, Coach Ray in Cleveland. Shanda says it's too hot in KY. I can gel with that. KY, I don't know, a little joke there. Dave just went to the dentist, and Thomas as well. They got their teeth cleaned, and Sandy will be absent today. Today is episode 538 of the Bass Guys Show. Thank you for your patience. Patience is a virgin. We'll be right back after this commercial break with some music.
What do you have for us there? Well, Jerry, can you hear me?
I can't hear anything.
Okay, apparently we're having a little audio difficulty, Jerry. Let's try this one more time. No, I guess we just lost him. We'll try and get Jerry back a little later in the show. Sorry about that.
Go for it. Do it with him.
Be as salty as you want, Sloppy. We love you.
There's certain types of watch buyers who just love the gimmicky watch, and you can sell them anything that's different.
The Giants square off against the Padres. Tonight at 7 on Channel 2.
There's only one two.
The program regularly scheduled at this time will not be seen because of the following special broadcast.
Challenge of the GoBots will return after these messages.
Son, I figured when you were old enough I'd talk to you about drugs.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
I get angry just thinking about it makes me mad. Little kids doing drugs, it turns my stomach. That stuff hurts. It stops you from living up to your potential. It holds you back. It hurts the user. It hurts his family. It hurts his friends. I just want to shake some sense into you kids that are using drugs and thinking about using. So remember, don't, or else. Okay?
Now, what's wrong with you? Tonsillitis?
Appendicitis.
Yeah! Nobody's died of tonsillitis around here.
We're going to start off with a little jam. This song is called The 1980s Was Frickin' Awesome, so like just relax and have fun. I love you. I have the wrong camera on, sorry. There's always a way around. So we have a bad sync, and it's been going on for 2 years. The audio and the video won't match up. So I'm putting this guard thing to protect the microphone so you can't see my lips move without even thinking. I'm going to refresh now. So what that means, so just say it once. Just say it once. My mother hung me on a door hook once. Just once. I'm going to say it once. If you're watching this live, you have to refresh in about 15 seconds. It takes me 15 seconds to press all the right buttons. If you're on YouTube, I'm just going to frickin' disappear using my mind.
My turn. Yes, my turn.
Today's segment, which is the world news. The bass guy. World news on the Bass Guy Show. Sheila, leave me alone. I'm trying really hard to do like a nice little show here for my friends. But no matter what you do, you can't make everybody happy. My brother always taught me, if people aren't nice to you, just pee in a cup and throw it at them. So, today is Monday, July the 25th, 2016, and you're watching I Guess I Gotta Come Back to Periscope August 6th. Says Middle Class Batman. Nice to see you here. Hello, Gajen, and hello, Pities the Fool. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Our first thing in the news is Chief of Calais. So, Chief of Calais. I'm doing, as you can see, I've got my windows up and that. I'm actually doing all of the segments and everything. So Chief and Calais. Can we see Calais? There we go. So these are real stories in the world news. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not. These ones are a bit more normal. Chief of Calais, poor ashamed about UK holiday makers. So in the United Kingdom, Calais to Dover, so you can go from France to England under the Channel. You can actually go in a train and go under the frickin' ocean, the English Channel. I call it the ocean because all water is one body anyways. Yeah, baby, body. So there's huge, massive traffic jams in Calais, and people were stuck in traffic all weekend. Invalid source, says my computer. So that's that story. Minus 10 to 0. So Sloppy was 0 years old in the 80s. So I guess you were born... That's crazy. That's what hit me like a brick. It's when, I think it was you, Sloppy, said that I was asking, why is the Pokemon Go thing so incredibly popular? It's insane. I saw on Periscope on YouTube, like there's hot spots where on the weekend there's like 100 kids on an intersection all looking at their phones and running around. At least they're, you know, meeting each other. Maybe they hook up and do a bad thing on a boat. Who knows? But Slop was saying it's probably nostalgia. And I was like, nostalgia? Pokemon, like, I was watching Pokemon when I was in my late 30s or whatever, you know? So we're all different ages. Also in the Bass Guy world news, so we have traffic in Calais. China unveils the world's largest seaplane. The world's largest seaplane. It is a plane. It lands on the sea, and it is the biggest one in the world. As I was saying at the beginning of the show, with Pokemon Go, we're always looking down. We're looking down, and we need to look up more. Well, you don't need to do anything. Just do the opposite of whatever I say. It hit you like a cup of pee. That's right, Middle Class Batman. So, I like to give the neighbors the privacy. So, yeah, we got the, how do you say it? The Perseids meteorite shower is starting now until, starting actually tonight, until August 23rd. And on July 28th and 29th, there's the Delta Aquarids. There's going to be meteorite showers that come around every year. They go around a huge orbit, and every end of July they come around. And if you look up, you're going to see meteorites going by every hour, supposedly, on average. So, and it's beautiful to look up because we get caught up in our own minds. We take ourselves seriously. We think that we're going to live forever, and that, you know, we believe in crazy things because we're scared of death. But we are here right now, and this is real. So put your frickin' phone down, turn off the Bass Guy Show. Actually, no, don't listen to anything I'm saying. Stay on the Bass Guy Show. So you're going to see these showers. So if you can get out of the city light, maybe take your bicycle. Satan Loves is going right out now with Elliot. Parasades. The Parasades. So that was the Bass Guy World News. We're going to do another song, and then after our song, we're going to go on to this day today, things that happened on July 25th, which is the day out of time. And we're going to go to birthdays, and then we're going to do some more music. So before we go to a commercial break, I just want to ask the wall, how are you? How are you doing? How you doing, little buddy? Just pretending to be condescending. You're watching the Bass Guy Show. The lines are open if you'd like to call in, but there's no pressure. Pretty goddamn shitty. Well, I hope you feel better soon, Sloppy. It is Monday. It's the Monday Shundai. The Monday Shunday. Pretty good. I'm together. So congratulations on the new digs, Gajen. I hope it works out well for you. I hope it make it all cozy. You got the whole week off, John. That's amazing. If I don't see it, they say in Scotland, if I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the winday. A little saying there. Chris Riddall seems to like that saying a lot. So yeah, you're watching concertwindow.com, fabulous website. You get a lot of folk musicians here. I think 3 guys run it from New York City. Good people, good website, one of the top streaming applications of the year. And you can just go on and stream. If you go on YouTube, not to put YouTube down, they're amazing and very progressive, but you have to go through all these different stages. The concert window, click. You guys can do it if you want. Open up your own account and start the John Down the Street show, or the Middle Class Batman show. My name is Bass Guy. I am a musician. I play the bass guitar, and I have albums and all this crap available for you to check out if you're interested. It's very easy to do. All you have to do is go to bassguyshow.com, and immediately you will be faced with this album if you go to the music section. This album is free to download, completely free. It's over 40 tracks long. It will do your head in. You will not be able to get those hours back in your life after you've listened to it. So go check that out. It's thebassguyshow.com, a brand new website. This album has commercials made by you, the Bass Gang. Over the last year and a half, we made our own commercials, little community here. If you'd like to make a commercial, all you have to do is say something on your telephone and record it and email it to us. Again, everything is available at bassguyshow.com. I have a rap album called Therapy, where I rant and rave and swear. My favorite song is on there, called Vincent. And a whole bunch of albums. There's albums with Dr. Nair Mumstead. We have 2 albums. One's called The Jazz Janitor. Some of you have already heard all this, so I apologize profusely if I'm boring you and putting you to sleep. But I just sometimes remember that I always forget. We have different albums. We have the Shundai, this is the perfect album for Monday. The Shundai is what Dr. Nair Mumstead, the prophet, was talking about. That's a photograph I actually took. That's my own photograph with my friend's own artwork. And I took that photograph in Greece. I got lost out in that sea on a paddle boat. And after partying, and got too far out and almost got lost at sea. The Shundai are all the things that we're afraid of, the fear and the loathing and the guilt and the regret and the judgment and the attachment and the identification and the pain body, the Eckhart Tolle pain body. So that's a great album to listen to on Monday. And streaming is free. If you want to support the artist, you know what to do. We also have a Bass Guy album called Audio Dreams with Velcro, a good buddy who passed away last year. Rest in peace, Richard. Love you. Him and I made a podcast, and it's over 15 hours long, and it's all available there to listen to. It's the Bass Guy Show in its infancy. With Satan Loves, right from the beginning, Satan Loves and Larry and all that. So all of those albums and more are available at bassguyshow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back right after this commercial break with some more. Look at this, I got nipple sweat. There's a heat wave out there. We're going to have the weather with Frankie McDonald coming up. We're about halfway through the show. It is 80s week. It's very hot out there. Stay cool, drink water. Class Batman, take care. We love you.
That's for me for Action 5.
Dan Hovel, damn it.
This is an Action 5 News update. This is an Action 5 News update.
Good evening, I'm Momo Rashid.
I'm Richard Hall. Some local economic experts are painting a very bright picture for Cincinnati's airport tonight.
This has been an Action 5 News update.
I don't have any yet. I'm not getting it. First, I'll be joining us in just a minute to give us an update.
Urologist Glenn Schwartz is outside right now with a live action cam with the latest. Glenn?
All right. Am I out here? Okay. Right behind me is the street, and it's just plain wet right now. But wait. I'm trying to keep mine up. I know it's hard.
Bullshit. Let's go.
You know where you can put it. Okay, here we go.
Fucker.
This is it! This is it!
Okay, so we're going to try a song now from the 80s. I've tried this once or twice before. I used to be in a band called Mafia in Scotland for 5 years, and I was bass player number 70, I think, 71. The band had been around for a long time. Good friend Dougie Martin just passed away like 4 years ago. Really miss him and love him. He was kind enough to give me a call when I was living in Glasgow, just called me up out of the blue and talked to me for 2 hours, asked me how I was. I did a lot of gigs with him all over Scotland and England. It was a big band. We had horns and, you know, brass and trumpet and Hammond organ, like the whole entire thing with the Leslie, and we do big shows and travel far. And some of the guys were like partying too hard and things like that. It was during the late 90s. And Dougie Martin opened up for the Beatles. He actually opened up in the cavern where the Beatles started. He used to hang out with Jimi Hendrix in bars, and I got to play with this guy, amazing musician. And I grew up in the 80s, as you can see from the wall behind me, and one of my favorite movies, Back to the Future, is what got me into skateboarding and Huey Lewis. I was addicted to Huey. Dream come true, and I didn't even know at the time that Dougie had played with the Beatles and all that stuff. So I was listening to Huey Lewis. Huey Lewis has a lot of great, it's very American Psycho Huey Lewis, that kind of, you know, corporate 80s thing, but amazing singer. And this guy Dougie had a great voice. So I'm going to jam Want a New Drug. Very, very watered down, thinned down version. I don't even know if I can pull this off, but this is a little internet TV kid-on show. So if you like the show, please let me know. Bass Guy Loves You No Fear. This is a song called I Want a New Drug from the 1980s. This is going to be a train wreck, but train wrecks are good. Like we learned from Mistake Week, you never do anything, you never learn anything by doing it right. Let me just fix some of the stills here. Welcome to 1980s Week on the Bass Guy Show. It's the horn section. I want a new drug, one that does what it should, one that don't make me feel too bad, one that don't make me feel too good. I want a new drug, one with no doubt. Pick it up at the Couche-Tard on my paper routes. One that makes me nervous, wondering what to do. One that makes me feel like I feel when I'm with you. I'm alone with you. I want a new drug. Train wreck. this day today, July 25th, the day out of time, a day when a bunch of hippies get together and make a website that looks like Scientology. So July 25th in 1946. Okay, this one's going to start off today with a boom. This is real. Now this is an atomic bomb. In 1946, the USA tested its first underwater atomic bomb at Bikini Island, Bikini Atoll, Bikini Island. And I think that's when the bikini was invented. So things were getting hot all over. Now, if you look close at that image, if you look on the right-hand side, you see a black protrusion sticking out. That is actually a warship being blown into the air. That's insane. If you ever stand up close to a warship, like a huge warship, the thing is the size of like 10 apartment buildings. Okay, it's huge, and that thing is being flown straight right up. So there you go, another better picture of that there. So yay science. I don't even have a fan on. I'm just kind of going with the flow. So these are things that happened this day today, on July 25th. This is 1946, and it is 80s week on the Bass Guy Show. We're going to keep these short from now on. In 1978, world's first test tube baby was world's first test tube baby was born. The test tube's baby was Louis Joy Brown, and was born in England. So a little bit more, so like science there. We have science that gives us death, and then we have science that gives us life. And there is little baby. Imagine that person, Louise Joy Brown. Imagine Louise. She is the first test tube baby ever. That is crazy. We're going to move on to birthdays now, and we have a very special birthday today of bassist Verdine White from Earth, Wind and Fire. You got to go listen to Earth, Wind and Fire, especially if you have it on vinyl through a nice old stereo and big speakers. They don't make things like they used to. Sounding old here, but Earth, Wind and Fire, and Verdine White helped Earth, Wind and Fire make it to success. He's also a producer, musician, and bass player. So happy birthday, Verdine White, man. Keeping it funky and keeping it real. Amazing band. If you check out their live shows, the way these guys can sing, it's just stunning. Absolutely incredible. So there he is. Happy birthday, Verdine White. Now, also another person who has the name White in their name, but in French, is Matt LeBlanc, which means white, blanc, I think. Matt LeBlanc was born in 1967. Everybody knows him from Friends, and it is his birthday today. You have just gone watched this day today. Thank you, Ape. And I love you. I'm so glad you're back, Ape. Love you. No fear. So, the show is coming to an end, but fear not, because we have 4 more days of this crap to get through. Thank you for sticking by. Scientists are working around the clock to find out how stupid Bass Guy Show is. We're going to do a little visual now. I'm going to show you some photographs of Bass Guy in the 1980s. This is Bass Guy in the 1980s. So there's me and my friend Russ. Russ is on the left. No, I'm on the left. Russ is on the right, my other left. Russ is in the yellow. Russ actually is an Olympic swimmer. He's one of the Canadians' top swimmers. I remember in school he used to wake up every day at 5 a.m. and practice 2 hours. He did this for up to 10 years, an Olympic swimmer. Behind him is Bass Guy, all grumpy and all serious, and now I run my own show from my basement with sweaty boobs. Here's a picture I made for my dad in the 80s. It says, "I'm so glad you're my father," and there's a picture of my dad and myself. "You'd make a ridiculous looking mother." I do not remember making that, but there it happened. There is my mum on the far left, who's Chicky Mickey just met Bass Mum. That's Bass Mum in the 80s, the early 80s, and that's us at the Ottawa Transportation Museum. My dad used to always take us to museums and on field trips and drive across Canada. And that's my Scottish grandmother stepping on my hand as the train crushes me. My grandmother was named Mad Mary, and when she was 80 years old, she celebrated by flying in a glider. She swore a lot. She was very funny. Came from a different generation, and met my grandfather during World War II. We'll have to get through this quicker. I think you've seen this before. There's Rick. We're playing the first compact Pac-Man game that ever came out. First game ever in your home aside from Pong. And that's just down the street between where John and down the street and I are right now. Here's another photo in the 1980s. This is on the far left. You have Up a Ladder Guy, my brother Thomas. Love you, Tom. And then we have one of my best friends, Matt Charbonneau, and there's Satan Loves on the right. that's actually Satan Loves. And Christmas Park School. I got into skateboarding. Got my crossbones. That's by the train station here, where I go to meet BB after her work. That's up in Garden City. We used to make ramps out of wood we'd find in the garbage and then do jumps and stuff. These are just all the photos I could actually find from the 1980s. This is the back of Orlando's house, John, down the street, and that's me in the snow. What else have we got here? Here's a picture of my grandfather and I. My grandfather on the right there, a Scottish grandfather. He was in World War II. He got shot in the head. The bullet went between his ear and his brain, and he lived, obviously. And then, what do you know? He protected democracy so that we could have our McDonald's, and there we are at a very early McDonald's in Montreal, and he came to visit Bass Guy in the 80s. I love you, Granddad. There's a picture of Bass Idiot in the 80s. I'm confused, and I like it. So we had, if you notice, in the 80s, we had the breakdancing laces. We used to buy laces. That's when I was hanging out with John. But Marc-Andre and Adam Harris, and I'm on the very far left, holding some what are they called? Railings for your skateboard? God, it's been so long, I forget what's going on. There's Bass Guy at Christmas Park. The school I went to was Satan Loves, and Larry, the producer. We all went to school together. And I did a presentation and got to meet her, Helen Heldicott. She's one of the world leading activists in nuclear disarmament. I can't even say the word. I can't even speak. My brain is broken. So I did a project on nuclear war, and I showed a video as a project in my school, and I had to get permission from all the parents and students because the video showed houses blowing up and the apocalypse and everything. There's the 80s skateboarding. Here's the 80s. I drew a picture of Queen for one of my reports. That was like 1980, I think. And then we got into skateboarding. Sorry this is taking so long. I didn't know I had so many photos. Here's another photo of John down the street. There's Up a Ladder Guy on the far left. My cousin Adam in the blue. In the very middle is John down the street. And then there is Bass Guy. And that's the street where John lives down the street, and I live up the street. I live at the top of this hill, where we used to go-kart down, and John lives at the bottom of the hill. Life is funny. And there's me at the house in 1980. I had a tooth thing around my neck from the dentist, where you keep your change and shit. And as I said, my dad used to take us on trips. I think that's in Prince Edward Island in Canada. We went traveling on big car trips, and here's some little Bass Guy photos. Why not show them now, you know? At least it's documented. There's me trying to have fun. I still have that those clothing. Bass Guy in the 80s. Man, this is taking a long time. Sorry about this. And here's Bass Mum. Look at Bass Mum working hard. There's the Datsun that we were talking about. This is a red one, though. And you can see on the back, my dad actually welded on metal bars so that he could put an ice box to keep extra food in. Like, he actually made that car and worked for Nissan and Datsun. He was an incredible A-Class 1 mechanic. Wearing the Expo hat, and there's Bass Mum. Datsun. Yeah, it was Datsun. My dad worked for Datsun before it was Nissan. I actually remember him studying his tests. He had a big, thick manual, and He's an amazing mechanic. There on the calendar, you can't see it very well, but it says 1983, Sunday, April the 10th. And that's Caesar, our dog Caesar, and that's my grandfather who lived on this street. And he went to fight in World War II, and he went missing in action for 2 weeks. And letters were sent home saying he was missing in action, and then they found him a month later, and everyone in his battalion was killed except him and one other guy, and they survived. And apparently, you know, my mom told me that he had nightmares every night and hung out at the Legion in St. Anne's, and he was a very humble man. And he made my mother, and then my mother made me, and then I made the Bass Guy Show. So from it's called the compost theory. From bad shit comes good things. There is Bass Guy in 1980, I think it is, 1981, and I don't know if you can spot Bass Guy. On the far left, you can see the teacher. Her name was Mrs. Miles, and I shit you not, she was 6 foot something, and her name was Mrs. Miles. How appropriate. I remember her well. I remember I had to return some scissors to her, and I held the scissors backwards, and I waited 2 minutes, and she said, "Oh, thank you for waiting," and I learned my lesson of being polite. From Mrs. Miles, so she put some good qualities into me, and so did my mother. So I'm at the far left at the top. I didn't expect to show so many photos, and here's the last photograph. I did this in 1981, I think. I can't read it from where I'm sitting, and it's finger painting. And as you can see, I was influenced by music already at the age of whatever, how old I was, like 8, 9 years old or something like that. My brothers were playing drums in the basement and stuff like that. And that's it. That's Bass Guy in the 1980s. We'll be back in a few moments with the weather and then one more song. Or just the weather, then we'll finish up. That's it. The inside of Kit's, that is Kit, that's the inside of David Hasselhoff's car, Knight Rider. Just say blow. This is your brain. This is an egg in a frying pan. Thank you, Nancy Reagan. Show's almost over. We're coming to a close. I'm just going through all my images here. We're going to give you everything at once, all in one day. Why not? And we'll end the show. Thank you for watching the Bass Guy Show. Thank you for your love and support. Remember to eat your broccoli responsibly and take your celery seriously. Coming up next on the Bass Guy Show, the weather with Frankie McDonald.
Headed towards the state of Washington on Thursday, July 28th, 2016. Temperatures will be going up to 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the state of Washington, especially interior state of Washington and Seattle, Washington as well. Says it's all the hot air is coming all the way from the southwestern United States. That's going to cause high heat and humidity in Seattle, Washington. People in Washington, be prepared. Have your sunscreen ready, have your sunblock ready, have your hats and sunglasses ready, have your air conditioners ready, and turn on the air conditioners to keep the house cool and keep you cool. Head to the swimming pools to get cooled off, and head to the beach if you live in the west coast of Washington to get cooled off as well. Says it's going to bring very high temperatures. And when you go for a walk, don't walk too far. For people living in Washington State, especially in Seattle, Washington, Tacoma, Washington, Olympia, Washington, Port Angeles, Washington, surrounding areas as well. Limit your outdoor activities such as playing outdoor sports, biking, walking, running, jogging for people living in Seattle, Washington, and the rest of the state of Washington, including Spokane, Washington, and the surrounding areas as well. If everybody living in the state of Washington, be prepared for a massive heat wave starting on Thursday, July 28, 2016. Take care, stay safe. Don't get too hot. Stay cool, be safe.
Gotta go now. We did start on time today. We're going to try to start on time. It is 1980s week. We'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time. Very easy to find us. We have a brand new website. Thank you very much, Slavian folks, for all your hard work, labor, and love. TheBassGuyShow.com every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ConcertWindow.com as well. You just done gone watch The Bass Guy Show. Everybody have a great day. Stay cool out there. Look up. There's going to be meteorite showers tonight. Fabulous things happening in the sky. Go out and lie on the ground. Have a break. Bass Guy loves you. No fear.
Show goes live right here on Concert Window. Be sure to tip those waitresses. Yes, indeed. Yo, let's give it up for Bass Guy.
Let's stay in touch and not lose that contact, because it's good contact. It's important, because one guy we're going to go on living in another format. This guy loves you. No fear.
Did you just watch The Bass Guy Show on YouTube? Then please click on the subscribe button and subscribe to The Bass Guy Show. BassGuyShow.com, live every day, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for your love, support, contribution, and for being here. Thank you for your time.
Slow day.
And I'm 34 years old, and I guess you could say that I have been unlucky in love. So I have a list of qualifications for my next husband.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.